Welcome to Diva's Two Cents, where we take complicated matters and we break them down for the masses. I am so happy to be here again with you. We were under construction for a couple of weeks because we're revamping everything, okay? And I've got two announcements for you. If you just got on, if you're logging on to Facebook right now, the first announcement is the Diva's Two Cents is going to be a secondary tagline to the Diva Mejias TV show. We are expanding. We're going into other territories, and I need to make sure that my brand is out there, and it is Diva Mejias. So for those of you out there, I'm waiting for a few people more to join on, but I am going to tell you about the second announcement. The second announcement is because you have asked and we have listened. The Fridays at 4 p.m. Central Time is a little more difficult for you. So you have asked that what we do is that we change the time. So effective next week, we will be airing every Wednesday at 6 p.m. No longer Fridays. So don't look for us on Fridays, okay? It's going to be Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Okay? So those are the two announcements. Yay, we're excited about it. More importantly, for those of you out there, I have a wonderful, wonderful guest to start with our new format and our new show. This gentleman, as you can see, he's right there live with us, okay? He is a true innovator in the digital space. He's got over 15 years of experience transforming businesses. So he is no spring chicken, young ladies out there. He has created systems and processes that have generated an astonishing $39.5 million for the companies that he has co-founded and consulted for. Beyond that, he has brought his expertise to major brands like SHOWTIME Networks and ViacomCBS, now known as Paramount. Now, he's taking things to the next level as the founder of Voice AI Agency. And artificial intelligence, helping businesses elevate their client communication and drive growth. Now, let's dive into his incredible journey and discover how Voice AI is changing the game for business owners everywhere. Because everywhere you look, it's AI this or AI that. And for those of you that are not familiar with the acronym AI, it's artificial intelligence. So today I want to welcome Mr. Edgar Vasquez, the founder of VoiceMyBusiness.com. Hi, Edgar. How are you?
Hi, Diva. Thank you for having me so much and ready to have this conversation with you.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited. I'm really excited with all the stuff that you're going to bring. So tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
So, I come from the helicopter world. That's where I started when I was 15 years old. My father got me into the business, and I started really just selling tickets. And when I started selling the tickets, I got so good that the company moved me up to marketing. And I was able to now speak to the customers every day and find out what were the pain points, what were they looking for. And this was in New York City. So this is day in, day out, one of the biggest corporations in the U.S. for helicopter tourism. And I saw opportunities there for growth. And one of the founder's sons, when I don't know if you remember Hurricane Sandy, when it happened in 2012, he was actually looking to see New Jersey, and people were actually sending him messages like, hey, I want to know if my house is still there. I'm not in New Jersey, I'm out of state. So he started taking pictures, uploading out to Facebook, and people were like, oh my God, thank you so much for showing that, my area, thank you, my house is there or it's not there. And we saw a need in the space that people want to have this experience of a private photographer at a very low price. Well, not very low, but very inexpensive. And customers were actually, how can I do this on my own and with you? So we started a helicopter company, just taking pictures, and it was a doors off experience around New York City. So that got me really started into the entrepreneur world, and we went on to using build the business and build a little customer service centric company where we found out what was the customer's pain point in our industry, and we basically delivered that to us. They had flown, and the next day they said, "Hey, I would love, I loved the flight. I just didn't like what happened. There was like some kind of argument with one of the employees, and so they really didn't get to enjoy the flight itself because of what happened. So I contacted them, and they were like, "Hey, we're leaving tomorrow. Are you able to?" And we were like, "We want to get you back up. Can you do it at 12 Eastern time?" And we did that. And when I went and met them in person, they're like, "Oh wow, we never seen a co-founder coming out of nowhere and actually meeting us and giving us this flight for the comp flight." And by the time we were done, we added a little something extra. We flew them to the airport because they were flying to Australia. And by the time we were done, they were like, "Hey, we would love for you to come down to Australia and actually meet our daughter."
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, listen, that's a story. Helicopters. Holy cow. But I want to ask a question. And I think we do have, can someone in the chat just give me a sound check? Because I thought I heard a little echo back there. Do we have a good sound check? Can somebody put it in the chat? Can you hear us? Miss Richard, can you hear us? Okay, well, I have this question for you, okay? I mentioned that you have systems and processes that generated an incredible $39.5 million for those businesses, right? That you co-founded. Now, can you share the secret behind creating such an impactful strategy or strategies for these companies?
Sure. So, one that I believe most businesses, that are starting up now don't get is actually understanding what are the customer needs and how could the business not just get what they want, but also what they need. And if the businesses in now actually work on obtaining those needs and wants, it will actually succeed to a higher level because the business has to only survives when the client receives what they want, and but they actually thrive when they receive what the customer needs. We were selling a basic, you say, tour, but what they actually needed was an experience. Most of our clients were from out of the country, so when they came in, we gave them that experience of like, "Hey, let's treat you as a paying client, like if you were paying us $25,000. So the same thing comes to other industries that I worked in, like SHOWTIME, ViacomCBS. How do we get you? You're watching TV, you're watching a program. How can we make you feel like you're part of the experience? And that way, you could share a moment on your Instagram, on your social media, with your family members. Like, wow, I felt like I was there. So that's one thing. The next part is technology and automation. How do we streamline repetitive tasks, saving you, the business owners, time, and also reducing your costs? Once you have all this automation, you want to have data-driven decision making processes. So that way you always are evolving your processes and your system, and you could check them so you could stay relevant and also effective in your marketplace.
Wow. Okay, so what are you working on now? Tell us. What great stuff are you doing now?
So, when I moved on from the helicopter space and then went into ViacomCBS, SHOWTIME, and moved on from consulting with them, I was like, what's a need that we have in the marketplace? And one of the needs that I was researching on was 60% of business calls to businesses are not answered. So that's a very centric customer service problem. Like, are there tools now that AI is in now the forefront? Are there tools available that will allow us to be always available for our clients? At least have someone available to speak to our clients. And so I started this company called Voice My Business, which allows companies and businesses to use AI to receive phone calls and actually answer the questions that the client needs, the customer needs. But also, if let's say the business has enough personnel to always answer the phone calls, what happens when the business, let's say, is a 9 to 5 business? What happens when it's 6 o'clock and now nobody's there to answer the phone? We want to have a system and process in place that the phone always picks up and says, hey, we're not available, but what would you like to know? Would you like to know our prices? Would you like to know our process? Would you like to, maybe you have an emergency, you have a plumber a plumbing business that doesn't have a emergency line. Now the AI picks up that call, finds out the emergency, and now sends you a message or sends you an email saying, hey, this person has an emergency, would you like to take this call?
You see, as a business owner, and I have several businesses, I often wonder, and I lose calls, and I know I lose calls. I've used different systems. I've experienced, I've experimented with various systems. One that would just take messages, and then I'd have to go and read the emails, and then I'd have to go searching. So I always wonder, and I figured AI would catch up with this, but I always wondered that's a missed opportunity. And there's no way to gauge it. And now you mentioned 60%. 60% go on call unanswered. It costs a lot of money from an acquisition standpoint to get a customer, never mind to lose a customer because you're not being responsive and answering their phones, right?
That's correct.
Holy cow. Okay, hold on a minute. Whew, that's something. Okay, so how does AI voice improve that client communication and that connection that you have and that experience, so the overall customer experience? Is it a robot answering the calls now, or is it just a bot, someone that sounds choppy and?
So at the beginning, that's what most people believe, that it's gonna sound robot-y or sound like just a bot just saying like random, like when we call companies, they're like, hey, dial 1 for Spanish, dial 2 for Spanish, dial 1 for English. And you're like, oh man, here we go again with these bots. Well, this system is actually very intelligent and actually picks up on situational awareness of what's going on in the phone call, and actually can actually change its responses to what you're asking it on the fly. So these are instant responses to the client's inquiries. We have, which is like, let's say a business can't call back a customer. Somebody goes through Google, looks up a business. They already did the hard part. They looked up your business. Your business came up number 1, and they're having an emergency. They call. Oh, goes to voicemail. What do they do next? They're not gonna wait. They give it, 10, 20 seconds, and then they call the next number. And who's gonna get the business? The person that picks up the phone. So. AI.
I'm guilty as charged. I've got the press 1 for English, press 2 for Spanish, and then by the time it finishes saying the English version of the intro, it goes to, and this is a bilingual, and and you feel like just hanging up. You're like, okay, that's it, I'm done. So I'm guilty. I can relate.
So this is what we're working on improving, this communication, two-way communication, that the customer always gets what they want, and they get to you, and you get quality leads. And I've had experience when I called a business, and the employee that day came in, they didn't have a good day, they didn't have a good morning. So and it shows that the professionalism goes down. But with a system and a process in place, you always have a consistent tone and professionalism, which enhances your business. So, like, this is the the tools we want to expand to all businesses to be able to have that a bot or an AI or a system is able to handle repetitive, time-consuming communications. Like let's just give you one example, right? We had a pizza restaurant have a brand new employee. They were just working. Most employees, you tell them, hey, answer the phone. Well, one call, the customer called in and had an allergy question. So this brand new employee, maybe 2 or 3 days on the job, gave them the wrong answer and said, hey, there is no products with that could give you that allergy on from our pizza, from this order that you're ordering. Good thing that another employee was just close by and overheard the conversation and stepped in and said, hey, this actually does include ingredients that will activate that allergy. So now, the owner said, hey, he only had it for off business hours, and he's like, no, I want to have this throughout 24/7 because this could have been bad. And now what we do is we actually program it. We give it prompts and program it to now have an allergy information. So when somebody actually calls back and says, hey, I have an allergy, this is the product that I want, now the AI system now knows how to respond exactly for that product or for those products that the person is asking for.
That could have been deadly, because a peanut allergy could kill you. I mean, any type of allergy, a pineapple allergy could choke you. I mean, any type of allergy. So yeah, of course, that's important. Absolutely. Now, Edgar, thinking about the whole concept of AI, what kind of business or industry is this best for?
That's a great question. It's best for, at the moment, service-based businesses like medical offices, real estate offices, beauty like spas, chiropractor offices. Anything that has to do with appointment bookings is a great system for. Now, for small businesses and solo entrepreneurs, it's great because you want to scale your operations, and sometimes you don't want to increase your overhead at the moment. Have another person pick up a phone call for you because now you have to pay them on an hourly basis. So this helps reduce that while you still grow. And and then another way this actually has great results is when you want to have a system that screens your calls for your leads. So you want to make sure that, we had a personal attorney that we're working with. They want to make sure that all the calls are screened. Are they at fault? Did they go to the hospital? Do they have a police report? Because if they don't have that, then that call is, now takes, 5 to 10 minutes from a attorney to now spend their time telling them, hey, we can't do this right now because, you don't qualify.
That's right.
And now the AI could actually tell them, hey, this is what you need to do now, and this is how you do it, and then call back or schedule another appointment when you're ready to go.
Oh my goodness. We've got one question. Do you want to answer questions as we go along, or do you want to wait till the end and answer?
Let's wait till the end, and then we definitely could answer all the questions at once. I think some people are gonna love some of the things that we've come up with already.
Okay. Well, guys, continue putting your questions in the chat. Okay. So I heard that you created an AI that actually prays for individuals. Can you kind of expand on that?
It's one of those unfrequent request, then that turns into its own web. And it was more for churches that are looking for, we're not advocating any religion here, but churches have, they see the mega churches, they see that they have big volunteer teams, they have big staff, and they can have people on call all day and night. And some of the little ones are calling us like, hey, we don't have enough volunteer, we don't have the staff to be able, or the volunteer staff to be able to make all these calls or be on staff at 24/7 throughout the day. And they said, can you build something that somebody is asking for our number, they want a prayer, they're calling our prayer line, and can it give them Bible verses? Can it also give them a short prayer? And then once they're done, we get that information, and now we have a live staff. When they're available, they actually reach out back to them and actually do another prayer, and then invite them to church or give them the next steps that they need. But this just little bot that was one church has now expanded to many, and it's like, people are like, wow, like we're seeing a lot of results from, and a lot of calls because people just want to interact with it.
Wow, wow. That's interesting. Imagine that you need prayer in your hand, and you know what? You don't. Does it sound like it's robotic? Or I mean, if I call up and I say I'm having a hard time, I really need someone to pray for me, and this AI voice starts praying with me or praying for me, would I know that it's not a human, or is it transparent that it is? I mean, just curious.
At the moment, you get some slight hints, but I think as AI is progressing, you might have 2 or 3 months down the line that this AI, it's gonna be super seamless that you won't even know, hey, am I talking to a human? Am I talking to AI? And we're talking about it's just the little nuances that it's but it's not like the voice. It's really like how does it end? How does it pick up the next sentence? And that's the little nuances that are every month we're seeing that it actually decreases and actually becomes very human-like. And I think that's why I'm like, hey, very proponent into this idea.
So what are some of the common misconceptions that you hear about AI, voice AI, and how do you overcome it when you're talking to prospect, clients?
That's a great question. One of the first misconception that we hear is, hey, AI will replace human interaction. And I don't think so. I think it will enhance human interaction because it's handling the mundane task. Like, let's say you're an accountant, Diva, and we're about to come into kind of the accounting season. When taxes are due for individuals, some corporations. Imagine if you have to take 3 to 5 minutes of your day while you're working on a client's file to now pick up the phone and try to schedule someone in. Imagine the AI goes, takes the call, processes, asks them simple questions. Hey, are you doing individual filing? Are you doing a corporate filing? Okay, and then it goes, here's the exact calendar that you need to be on. You'll send them either a text or book them on the phone. So your clients can now use that and get themselves booked into your calendar while you're still working on your other client's file. So now it actually makes you more efficient. Now, let's say you had an office of accountants. Now this system basically has all your accountants working and putting more bookings into the calendar while everybody's just focused on becoming the best that they are in their field. And then I'll say another misconception is that it's too complex. Well, that's where we come in, and we streamline this. We streamline the whole onboarding process. So all you have to know is, hey, I want this. This is what I wanted to do. And we get all those systems in place that all you're doing is just saying, hey, it's done. Let's activate it on our side. Now, one thing that we've been talking about, another misconception, is it's not personalized. Well, it's getting to a point that we allow it to match your brand's voice and the correct tone that you always want your customers to hear from you. So those are the 3 most biggest misconceptions that we're seeing, and they're just sometimes we're not in the space to like, oh, I'm just hearing what the TVs are saying, the media is saying. But once you actually hear an actual AI system working, you'll be like, wow, like I actually do need this in my business.
Oh, okay. So can we try it? Can we try it for ourselves? Do you have a demo?
Yes, actually we do. We actually created the demo. I'm gonna call on my phone, and I'll give you the number afterwards, and you could all try it. So let me call it right now. Put on speaker. Let me know if you hear the phone.
Hello, Hello, this is Alice, your AI assistant from Voice My Business. Today, I'll demonstrate how I can act as a customized voice AI agent for your business. First, what is your name?
Yes, my name is Edgar.
Great to meet you, Edgar. Could you tell me a bit about your business and the industry you're in?
I'm in the accounting space.
Thanks for sharing that, Edgar. In the accounting space, what types of customer interactions do you handle most often? Are they mostly about booking appointments, answering inquiries, or maybe managing support issues?
It's mostly answering inquiries at the moment.
Got it. Answering inquiries is crucial in accounting. What tone and style would you like me to use when interacting with your customers? Friendly, formal, or casual?
Let's do casual.
Casual it is? Is there any specific scenario or challenge you'd like me to demonstrate during the role play?
Yes, I want you to ask, I want the client to ask about taxes and what do they need to do to get on an appointment.
Perfect. Let's dive into the role play. Hello, and thank you for calling Edgar's Accounting Services. This is your voice AI assistant. How can I help you today? Client. Hi, I'm wondering about...
I would love for me to get booked on your next appointment.
Sure thing. I'd be happy to help you with that. Could you let me know your preferred date and time for the appointment?
How's tomorrow at 12 Eastern?
Tomorrow at 12 Eastern works perfectly. I'll book that for you. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
What kind of documents do I need to have on hand for this call?
You'll want to have your previous year's tax returns, any income statements, and relevant financial documents handy. If there's anything specific you need help with, feel free to bring those documents too. Anything else I can do for you?
No, that'll be all. But this one hung up quick, but this is it usually stays on.
That is interesting. That is really interesting. She actually was able to come up with asking you to bring documents. Now, you didn't mention financial documents, and she actually mentioned it. Okay, now I have to ask this. Does it have to be a female? Can it be a guy? A male?
It could be a guy. It could actually be a couple of different accents.
Yeah.
So you could have British, you could have Australian. Let me give you guys the phone number if you guys want to try it.
Yeah,
It's 813-524-0058. So one more time. 813-524-0058.
Okay, we're going to put that in the chat, 813-524-0058. If you want to check out and do a little demo with an AI individual for your business. And I know I've got a lot of realtors that watch me. So, you know, we need to answer the phones. We need to be present. We can't lose calls. It costs too much to get a client, and they're just gonna go to the next person. If they can't reach you, they'll just definitely go to the next person. So I get it. And those clients, and it's not just the client that you lose, because one client gives you repeat business and they give you referrals. So when you lose a client or potential client, you lose a lot more than you really think. So having an AI, a virtual assistant, can really, really help streamline that. So again, if you want to demo it, it's 813-524-0058. Okay. Now, if someone in my audience is interested in obtaining this service, Edgar, what would be their investment?
So
and
right
be
before this
generous,
call,
because I got a good following, so be generous.
So Diva actually strong-armed me right before this call, and I had to call in my guys to make a quick page for Diva's audience and viewers. So original retail price right now, it's $497 a month, $497 a month, and a $500 setup fee. Now, for Diva's audience, we created a separate link. It's called voicemybusiness.com/Diva. And what we've done is we've waived the setup fee and we've lowered the monthly investment to $397 a month.
Ooh.
So a savings of a couple of $1,000 a year, just for you being a part of Diva's viewers.
Hey guys, this is a $1,200 savings, okay, plus the setup fee. So you're talking a few dollars here, okay? So take advantage of this. Please go and listen to the demo at 813-524-0058. Thank you, Edgar. Edgar, I asked you to be generous, but that was very generous, especially waiving the setup fee where you have to do the work up front before you actually see any dollars. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it, okay? Thank you. How long do they have to make a decision on whether they want to pursue this type of service?
So let's do 30 days from today, which is December the 27th,
Okay.
2024. So,
Okay.
you know, everyone is in the holiday spirit still, so and we're coming back into the work mode. So we'll extend it out to 30 days.
Sure. Okay. And how does this investment deliver the return on their investment?
Well,
Because remember, numbers tell stories. So
that's right. That's right. So, you know, if you go on the website, it actually will give you a common Florida salary of 50,000, or actually 35,000 for a common assistant, and plus training and plus onboarding. You're gonna spend easily over $50,000 a year just training a new salary worker with benefits and all the things you need, or insurance you need to have. So this actually saves businesses time, money, by automating the repetitive tasks that you need to do. And if you're a small business, you could actually reduce the need for additional staff right away. Like, you know, like the accounting firms, they have to ramp up. Well, they could ramp up and still have don't need people just on the phone. They could actually be fulfilling that service that the business does. Now, if you do what some of the businesses are doing, it actually increases the quality of the lead and the lead conversions. You know, now it's 24/7 service, which means people are always hearing someone from your business, and they're being transferred to the right department or the right personnel that can actually make this happen for them.
that's wonderful.
Let's talk about the biggest thing, right? Which is it leads to more referrals to your business, and importantly, it leads to more profits.
Oh, that bottom line, that's it. You know, these numbers got to tell stories, and we love to hear and analyze the stories they tell. Well, I have BC Clark who put a question in the chat. If there's a business that is looking to update or innovate their processes, is there a consultation where you evaluate the business before they make those decisions, you know?
Sure. We could get on a strategy call, 30 minutes, and we see if it's a great fit for the business. If this is something that will actually enhance the business. That's what we love to do. Just enhance the business, make sure that it actually flows with what they're already doing.
Okay, and then how do they go to Edgar Vasquez, or give me the email that they'll go to for that, or do they just go to voicemybusiness.com?
Just go to voicemybusiness.com. We'll create something, maybe let's give us like another 30 minutes, and we'll create a Diva at voicemybusiness.com, so we know that they're coming from you.
Okay, there you go. You don't have to worry. And BC, yes, take advantage of that. BC is she's very interested, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, Rich, what other questions are coming in? I can't see them from where I'm at. So I know that Evelyn had a question regarding AI, the confidentiality of having someone who, you train to do this job. Now, if it was a human, there's some type of confidentiality agreements and all this other stuff. With AI, I mean, you've trained a bot to actually know your business just as well as you know your business. So are there any drawbacks? Are there any, I'm assuming that from business to business, you sign different agreements, but do you foresee any hiccups in terms of, okay, we used you for X amount of period of time, and now this bot is out there with all my stuff? I mean, that's how I look at it. What do you say?
That's a good question. Actually, we have all the information in-house, and let's say the company wants to move on, we could delete all that information, and
Okay.
it's a very secured system.
Okay.
We don't want people's information going out. I know there's a lot of concerns now with privacy.
Right.
A lot of, I've worked with also some banks, and they're building their in-house systems just to, they're still using AI. They're still using like open AI, like ChatGPT, but they're actually building it in-house. So those are some of the things, depending on how, of course we want to secure all the information, but there's also levels of security, and the more levels of security you want to have in place, like banks, like, if you want to have a bank security or if you want to have a government security, those are different price point. We're going to now enterprise level of security. We will have to have a conversation to make sure it's a fit for us and themselves and the business.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, okay. So the last question that I have for you is, where do you see your industry going in the next couple of years? Because every time we turn around, there's something innovative and new. And look at you, you've reinvented yourself so many times. I mean, helicopters to AI, voice my business. I mean, 5 years from now, what do you foresee?
For me, well, for AI, voice AI, I believe this is going to be a standard tool. This is going to be like email marketing. Everyone's going to have one. And voice AI is definitely going to have more predictive analytics that will know what the customer is going to ask. Because right now, when I was working with the banks, they have a system now that the fraud detection is at a whole new level. It's detecting fraud at a whole new level. They even know if it's you or not you, and they even put more systems in place to make sure they can unfreeze it a little bit quicker, because it's gone a little faster than they actually thought. But it's actually, most times that it's catching fraud is 95% of it is actually accurate. So I believe voice AI will have the same impact, freeing the customer and the business from having to do some of the tasks. Like right now, let's say you do call the number, right? And you go speak to a human, it will actually call the office. So that's another way if somebody wants to have a strategy call. You just say, at any point in the call, you say speak to a human, it will actually transfer the call to a human being.
Oh, that's wonderful, because I do that all the time, because I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I don't want to talk to a virtual anything, right?
Right.
Okay, all right. But I guess it just takes time to understand, to transition, to realize that this is the way of life, and we are changing, and we're innovating, we're every day something new. So for those of you out there that are thinking about it, again, do a little demo. Don't just discount it. Dial 813-524-0058. Reach out to Edgar Vasquez, or go to voicemybusiness.com. You can put the /diva if you want. You don't have to. It doesn't matter. But you can, at least it'll help him know that it came from this venue. Edgar, do you have any questions for me? I can't thank you enough for taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know that you have a lot going on in your business. So thank you so much for joining us today here.
Thank you, Diva. Thank you for having us right after the holidays and ready for this new year. We're coming in 2025, so we're ready to go. If you want to see your business go to the next level, definitely this is one of the tools that's available for you today.
Excellent. So I know at least one person is going to be reaching out to you, because she already put it in the chat. Okay. Well, you take care. Thank you so much. I do have another announcement to make. So I am going to say goodbye to Mr. Edgar. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, okay?
Thank you so much, Diva.
Yeah, you take care. Okay, guys. Now, for you guys, I have something special for you. I haven't seen you in 2 weeks, and I wanted to share something with you. Most of you know that I have written my book, Embodying Your Identity, and you can either go out there in Amazon and pick it up, or you can just send me your name, your email address, and your phone number, and I will personally sign one and send one to you for the mere $4.95 shipping, I'll be more than glad to do that for you, okay? So embodying your identity for the life you were meant to live. As you know, I have a lot of identities, from a Main Street certified tax advisor to an insurance agent, a broker, a realtor. So that's why I wrote the book, okay? I want my grandkids, I want my family to know, moving forward, the generations moving forward, why they're in a position that they are today because of what grandma, this old lady, did, okay? So get your book now. And as a very special gift to my Divas 2 Cents audience, I have this little code I want to give to the very first 20 people that scan this QR code, at least a 30-minute free tax strategy plan. So scan me. Let me see it again. Scan me, and you can get 30 minutes free with me. Just me. There you go. Now, if you didn't get that scan, look at the replay. It'll be there, okay? I thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you on Wednesday, the new times, and that would be at 6 p.m. on Wednesday. Thank you so much, okay? Blessings to all. And to all, have a very safe and enjoyable holiday, the New Year's Eve holiday. I don't want anyone hanging from any chandeliers or doing anything crazy, but if you do and you get stuck, call me at Divas 2 Cents, okay? Send me a text message. I'll go bail you out. Take care now.